Oh my gosh!
It's amazing! Okay, she sang this at the Lynchburg Symphony Orchestra. You guys,
I'm so glad
if you missed it was so good!
So glad Chad.
Oh.
Because it was so cool because David, the conductor, and I had like a little exchange at the beginning where he kind of prefaced the song, and then I kind of did what I do, which is run my mouth. And so he was like, "Hey, the show has to end tonight." I was like, "You're gonna just have like a hook." That's enough. So I was very conscientious of what I was trying to get out of my mouth. But yeah, I got a chance to like share the song, what went behind the song, because I've sung in restaurants for years.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really funny. I don't know if I told you this, but I went trolling on. I played at Jimmy's on the James for
so long.
near a decade.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a long time.
Do you know? I think there's only like when social media kind of really took off. There's like 3 videos of me on the entire.
That doesn't seem enough. It doesn't seem like there should have been so much more.
When you play every night for free, every Thursday for free, and then you do these weekend gigs for like nominal money, and it's like they never ever. They streamed all these other videos. And I'm scrolling through last night down the rabbit hole, I'm like, I don't think they liked your music. Which which is fine
It's
because
totally
not
fine.
everybody
No,
does.
not everyone's
So I don't know what made me go down that little rabbit trail, but because I played there for so many years, I would take so many songs and I would redo them because people wanted covers, and obviously at Christmas you're singing Christmas songs, and so "O Come Emmanuel," like the chord structure had this lean to that like minor space, and so I kind of redid it in this like little bit of a darker space. I like the word the conductor. When we were rehearsing for the show, which also was nuts. They rehearsed for the show the same day as the show. Like
so insane.
The first time everybody performs together is the day of the show. So
That's so wild.
So he's going through this song and they ran through it and then he wanted to go back to it. Because remember, most of these people had never heard my version. He scored it, so they'd only had the sheet music.
Right.
And so I don't even know if he sent them the backing track because I know I got it to rehearse too, but he said I like how he explained it because I said to him when they first played it, I was like, I go to in the break because I'm very grateful about this opportunity, but I'm also like I love drums, and so I went to him and I was like, so can we get a little more oomph from the back row, and there might have been more oomph in the audience. Like Brent and I talked about this last night because there nobody's mic'd on that stage, which is a challenge. And the stage isn't designed for that because it's like this, the rafter. So the sound it's amazing that the sound manages to come out to you all in a way that sounds cohesive. Because there's nothing organizing that sound like technology would do, right? Like my miking and mixing, none of that's happening. It's just playing. So I didn't know if I just couldn't hear them enough. I was just like the thing about John's production. So I redid "O Come Emmanuel," and then John put the production behind it. The thing I love about John's production is it's very bombastic. It's very cinematic, theatrical. It's very dramatic. John likes to say, he's like, "When you love drama in your music," and I'm like, yes, I do. That is the only place I like drama.
Only place.
The only place. So I channel all my drama there. So he looked at the orchestra, back to David, and when I mentioned, I was like, can I get some more drums? And he kind of gave me the look. Because remember, it's almost like we're speaking two different languages too, right? Like I've not performed in a band structure since high school. And he's a conductor who has no idea what pop is like. So it's like the French person, the German person trying to explain what they want to have happen. And he just looks at me and he's like, I'll see what I can do, right? So I heard him turn to them. He's like, all right, you guys. He's like, this is like an industrial piece. I want more of an industrial sound. I'm like, oh, I like that, industrial. I was like, yeah. So that was the word the orchestra took.
Okay.
And it's amazing that like the first time they kind of did it really, it was very ethereal and airy and still beautiful, but the soul wanted more. And so when he said industrial, that like it's like they took like it came up another notch, and I was like, there it is.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Even though I still secretly would like want to go to the timpani guy and be like, crush it, like boom, boom, boom. Like I want it so much, but yeah, again, when we only rehearse the day of the show, so
not as much.
no, not as much. So it was pretty wild. Also, never having sung with a symphony before. To have for the first time the day of the show be like, all I remember is I stepped on stage and I started to sing, I'm like, like I hear my voice coming at me from the monitor and then I hear strings. And I'm like, where's the keys? Where are the drums? I was like, the drums are how I keep time. Because you're standing in front, technically in front of the conductor, so I'm not behind it because I'm performing.
Right.
So the drums would be how I would keep time, but they're buried with the because there's like all these strings, right? And then also try and stay in tune with a bunch of strings.
Well, sure.
Yeah. And the piano was way back with the percussion, the drums were and I was like, wow, this is so unique.
So
like,
different. Well, because didn't you also say that a symphony usually there should be a dome
So
to the sound? Which
I keep wanting to say halftime. It's so funny, and I'm not a sport. Like I mean, I was sporty back in the day, but like I haven't done anything sport related or watched it. But I keep wanting to say halftime, but intermission. At intermission, I went up to David and I was just like, so I was like, 3-hour rehearsal, 3-hour show, same day. He looked at me very seriously. He goes, we expected a lot from you. I was like,
yes, you
I was
did.
like, I hope I delivered. But I did say to him, I was like, I said, because very fascinating. If you go back and listen to, I think you caught it, because he didn't know what happened. Like, there was no sound explanation for it. In the Kelly Clarkson, I'm singing the melody, but then there's this like musical interlude.
Right.
And at the very beginning, I think it's the strings maybe that carry it, and then in the middle there's a brass instrument that's carrying the melody. And I probably should have not listened to him say that and then thought to myself, I'm gonna listen for that, because that's why I tripped into this song. Because I remember saying like, where did it go? Like, I remember thinking like, oh, he's right, like, where did it go? And I'm like, oh wait, my cue. I'm like these are things that run through artists' head. Like, when, now if you watch the video, none of that's showing on my face, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, he's right, where'd they go? And then I'm like, oh wait, it's my cue. And I was supposed to be coming in on this really high note, yeah. But the weird thing was, he said to me in intermission, he goes, literally the brass disappeared. Like, they're playing, but there's no sound. Like, what vortex? And so, he said it in intermission, because he's also the conductor in North Carolina. He said Raleigh, I thought it was Charlotte, but whatever. He said the Raleigh one has a dome. The way that the theater is, it has a dome. And because remember, the Academy's not just for symphony.
Right.
But if it were just for symphony, or if there was an emphasis on symphony, there's supposed to be a dome. So it's kind of like it catches and pushes the sound out, right? Instead of like where I stood on stage, it was like over my head. Like, I don't know. Where's it going? It was such an incredible experience. Like, just from like a sound, like just, like it was just, and it was amazing. Like, I said at the beginning, because there's a very long introduction, as you heard, to a come manual. And so what do you do on stage for this very long introduction?
Just hang out.
Like, like put together a dance. So I thought through it, like, between the rehearsal, 3 or 4 hours I had before the show, I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I knew I had to say something. I was like, you know what? Something you don't often get to do as an artist, something you never get to do as an artist, is watch yourself perform in real time, because that would be an out-of-body experience. Even though I told you I think I had one for the last 6 weeks, I did all of this with this undiagnosed sinus infection, so that's another story for another day. But I thought, oh, I know, like, I'm gonna step back, because the stage spreads, and I was like, I could actually come off to the side of the stage, because it's that long, the intro, and actually watch my song play, like, be an audience member before I sing. Really cool. So I said, I'm like, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna step over here and watch with you. And I said, it was just so, like, I'm watching everybody, I think it's a 70-piece orchestra, carp, and all of a sudden they're just making the song happen, and David conduct, and it was like Fantasia. Like, I felt like I was in Disney. It was like, we just needed the like sparkles to fly everywhere. It was so amazing.
It was incredible.
It was so amazing.
I loved it. It was absolutely phenomenal. So,
I just want to, now can we do it again so I can remember?
I know, right? Well, so you did that one, and then of course you did Under the Tree, which was had been done by
Faith Hill.
No, yes. You had done where
Under the Tree is Kelly Clarkson, but I did a duet with Adelaide,
right,
who we're gonna have on our show. Brilliant opera singer, like world-class opera singer. I did a song with Adelaide, and then we duetted, and then I did mine, and then I did the Faith Hill, Where Are You Christmas?
Yeah.
So if you've lost anyone, which I think is why John really felt that song. A friend of mine was just like, I'm crying. I was like, it's a crying song. And then Under the Tree was the exit pop song before the finale. So
which was incredible.
It was.
You nailed all of them.
Like I said, though, I got distracted by the missing instruments. I was like, where'd they go? It's like they're ghosting. I'm like, where did they go? Oh, and this is the stuff that I think as an audience you never get to hear. It's so fascinating to hear.
You have no idea.
No, like if you watch it, you have no idea the thousands of thoughts that are running across the stage about like 62 things that are happening in front of your face, but it just all looks like it's this perfect seamless. And it does, but it's just, there's so many more. There's so much. It's so much. So much. It's so fun.
So do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Oh my gosh, in my college years, it was 100% Mariah Carey. In fact, that was pitched to me as one I could cover for the show.
Oh, wow.
He's like, do you want to do Mariah Carey? And I was like, I don't think I have time to learn those runs.
No.
That's really where I landed. I was like, I think I could do Mariah Carey.
Okay.
I don't think I have time to learn those runs.
Right.
Because that's a note for note thing. Like, so what was really amazing, and I said this to Fred, because Fred's like, you don't do this all the time. I'm like, no. So I've been flying by the seat of my pants in music my whole, so like, I write the songs, I write the arrangements, I sing them, and I sing them my way, and everyone follows. That's like so prima donna of me, but that's how I've always done music.
Right.
Now so I did the big band, which was not my music. I learned the songs.
That was so good.
I sang with the big band, and that was like, you know, I had to play the pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, I think in that case it was different because David wasn't really a big band conductor. There's a lot of like newness to it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was less like, I don't know, something about the symphony was very precise. I would use the word precise. Everything about the symphony was precise.
Yes.
And it's not that I'm not a precise person, and I didn't have to do this for my, like, O Come Emmanuel was the one I practiced the least. Everything else, I told Fred, I was like, I've never practiced so hard for anything in my entire career. Like, Faith Hill, like, note for note, like, to the point where, like, and especially when I was duetting with Adelaide, like, learning how, as a pop artist, my O probably sounds like this, and her O sounds perfect. And when you put the two together, they don't work. So like, you know, just these nuances that I hadn't spent a lot of time thinking about because I didn't have to.
Right.
And then suddenly it's like, Renee, that's a sharp, not a flat. Or no, that's a sharp, not a natural. And I'm like, what? But I said to Fred, I go, okay, I said I got a good taste.
Yeah.
Of what preparing for a tour is going to be like it's, and that's why I really think artists, you know, you could watch Lady Gaga, you know, walk into any kind of a rec center and dump into one of her songs because it has been trained to her brain. Like I watched Adelaide, like she's trained this is her 4th Christmas show, so she's done so many of these songs before. Lucky her. So they were there. Like it was there. We're like, I've never performed with this, like going in blind. Like I had no idea what to expect. I had a taste of performing with live big sound from the big band, but this is another animal, and I can't wait to do it again. Like it was so awesome.
We're already making notes for the next one.
Yeah. It was so awesome. And then yes, and so many things that I learned. Like next time, you know, there's a symphony engagement, I need to make sure that it's not just my voice. If the drums are not audible or the keys are not audible, which is where I find my tuning, you know, that we know that they're running correctly through the monitor, and that the guy running sound is confident in his skills to make sure that that's happening like it should. So if you watch that symphony, and what was great is most people wouldn't know, but if you watch it, you're gonna see me. Because Adelaide would stand right in front of David and sing. But if you watch me, I had to stand off to the side so I could catch. I caught the beat from his conducting. So I had to stay. So in the peripheral, and most people may not have saw it, but he actually did come, because I got a little too carried away. I was thinking I knew what I was doing now with Kelly Clarkson. I started dragging the pace. And he actually did this to get me, and I was like, oh, sorry. And I actually to like catch up. Like I was actually like dragging pace a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is a nice little chill register. Oh, no, we're going faster. Yeah. But again, like it's amazing the things that you don't know that you have to think about until you're in it. And you're like, whoa, didn't know this was going to happen.
Right. Oh, I love that. So do you think, is having a Christmas album as an artist, is that like a rite of passage?
I don't think it's a rite of path. I feel like it's a responsibility. I feel like if you're an artist, it's like the Christmas album's a foregone conclusion. Like at some point, you're gonna have to put this together. I mean, Michael Bublé makes probably half his money on his Christmas tour.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
You know, like it's the holiday that demands musical attention. It gets a lot of play, and a lot of the Christmas carols can be really dragging and like, oh, here we go again. And so like I like the idea of people finding new ways and new, like I like what he did with the Christmas songs.
Yeah.
You know, having a pop song sung by an opera singer, and you know, like.
Oh, it's true.
Like it's a different take on it. You
Yeah.
may not, and again, you may not like it.
Right, I was gonna say, I
I knew that was not your favorite.
I judge Christmas songs very harshly.
So yeah, like you've said that, and I'm like, I don't think I'm that. I think I'm actually less critical of Christmas songs because you're covering them. Like it's.
Well, I feel like for me it's because there's so much nostalgia attached to a Christmas song. So
Yeah.
I feel like
That's a personal.
yeah. So and again, I'm not gonna like everyone's stuff, and that's okay.
Oh,
It's
he
personal.
judges you on A Holy Night.
Oh, I will judge you hardcore. I
And
will.
just so you know, you would have loved Adelaide. She didn't get to do it this year. She
Oh,
did it last
did
year.
she
You
do
would
it?
have loved her.
Oh yeah, I judge very hard. I draw an artist because they don't do
Literally, he won't listen to the
Oh, literally will not listen to me.
They sing A Holy Night
Yeah.
one way bad, and he's like, and we're
That's why it took me so long to listen to you sing it. I was so nervous. But you killed it, so it was fine. It was fine. Remember how scared I was? I was
Well,
like,
and I'm like,
I
what's
don't
the
know
problem?
this.
I'm like, what is the problem? And I even said, I'm like, I would do it differently a little if I had to do it again, because like it's interesting. You talked about in another podcast, you talked about how if you make video, this guy made one video every day for 365 days. I mean, when you looked at his first videos and looked at his last videos, there's like a marked difference.
Oh,
It's no different in music.
Right.
Like I look back at those were 2 years old, that Christmas stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking back, I'm listening to him like, wow, I could do that better now. Like, like this is good, but I could do that better now.
Yeah.
Because I've grown, like I've
Right.
grown, and I've even grown so much just working with the symphony because, like I said, I mean, I told Fred I was like, the voice is like a muscle. Like if you go to the gym and work out every day, get strong. Like I was rehearsing 2 hours a day,
Right.
trying to learn the words, like everything I knew had to be perfect, pitch perfect, lyrically, like, and you should have seen Adelaide in the back. We're like, we are gonna trust our memory to bring the correct words, because like literally, so Chad came out right before I was going on stage. I'm so glad you shut up because the one song that I duetted with Adelaide, the conductor had redone that. It's What Child Is This, but he put his own spin on it. So the melody line was changed, and the words and all the things. And the melody line was the hardest thing for me to learn because that's the problem with Christmas songs. You know them
Right.
like that way. So trying to unknow it and re-know it. And so when you came back, you had my phone
I do.
to film, and I had recorded the notes I need to know to come in, and I'm sitting back there going, oh, my phone isn't here. I can't. Man. Like, so he shows up. I'm like, he comes up to Chris. I'm like, give me my phone. Give me my phone. And I'm like, she has already started singing the song I'm meant to come in on, and I'm in the back alley going la 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 la. Like I'm like getting my note right. Oh my gosh! And Chad's like, what just happened? Come on.
No, I didn't.
Like,
No, I didn't.
get out there. Got a video. Okay, thank you. Go. He's like, okay, totally fine. Get out there.
Totally fine. We're good. We're good.
Get out
Everything's
there.
fine.
Film. I'm going on in 5 seconds. Film. It was so. I mean. This is why I love performing though, because it is that, like it is just this
So much
constant
energy.
flurry of like, oh, constant flurry of energy, and it's awesome, yeah.
Love it. Well, we need to talk about something a little comical.
Oh.
So, since we're talking about Christmas holiday singers, did you know there was a little debate recently between Mariah Carey and Dolly Parton
Over who did?
over who the true queen of Christmas is?
Oh, okay. In my mind,
Hilarious. In your mind, what was it?
it was Mariah, but that's because I wasn't listening to country ever.
Well, it's not even, what's the funny part is, I don't even know if it's completely, I don't know if it's fully even songs in general, because Dolly just does so much Christmas everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, like everything, it's just.
Well, when you say that, I
huge
thought
thing.
it's singing
I
songs.
mean, I think it is the songs as well. Mariah Carey, obviously, because of All I Want for Christmas Is You.
I don't care where. Look, we're watching the guys in Australia. Like, it doesn't matter where. That is. I do not hear Dolly Parton's Christmas songs.
No, you hear that one.
I literally don't hear Dolly. Like, I couldn't even tell you what Dolly Parton's.
She
I
does
love
a
you,
lot
Dolly.
of- She does a lot of.
I love you, Dolly. I don't even know.
So it was just what ended up happening. This was the whole thing. So what happened is Better Homes and Gardens actually dubbed Dolly the new Queen of Christmas. This is what started.
So Mariah got dethroned.
This is what started it. So, and Dolly, as sweet as she is, she's always a charmer, tipped her holly studded crown for the sake of all I want for Christmas is you, and said, now don't you say that. I'm not going to compete with Mariah. I love you. You think of Christmas, you think of her. I'm happy to be second in line.
Oh.
And then
she's so
Mariah
precious.
Carey jumped back in and said, Dolly, let's settle this one. You are the queen of everything, the queen of the world, the queen of Christmas, the queen of mine. Love you. So this all happened on Twitter. Yeah, so this all happened on Twitter. I know, right?
Who hates that on Twitter?
So then Dolly came back at the end of the thread and said, I will always love you.
Oh, Whitney.
It's like, oh, Dolly.
Oh.
Love her. But yeah, so I was like, oh, so I was like, all right. So that it was just so funny. It was all over like everything.
There's something. Those are two iconic women that are exhibiting complete humility.
Yeah.
And mad respect for each other. Like, what if we lived like that? Like, I think that's what was so beautiful about performing with Adelaide. Like, there was just this mutual respect that in our own spaces we had accomplished so much.
Yeah.
And our spaces were completely different. You know,
Right.
and it was so amazing to see what a powerhouse she was in hers. Like,
Oh, she's, yeah.
like just to watch her open her mouth, and I'm like, whew. I actually said to Adelaide, I'm like, back to the O thing, because it's funny. Those are two. You can't even Dolly's country. Like you can't even.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah's pop, Dolly's country. Like I'm connecting in that space because you know when he was like, okay, you guys, you're making two different vowels for the same word. I'm like, well, it's because I sing it that way. And she goes, what? So he goes, what O are you singing? And she goes, I'm singing O. And I said, can you come down to my level?
Come down to my
Can you come down here? I was like, I'm never getting up there. Can you come down here? I'm good with that. You come down here.
Oh my
I was just like,
gosh.
maybe if I smile, it'll come out the
Right.
right. Oh, this is so funny. We had fun. It was so
That
fun.
was so fun. I loved it. Oh, are you ready?
Ready? Fun, fun, fun. I thought that was the fun fact, Mariah.
No, so this is
Okay,
actually,
this is it.
so we're pulling from that for our fun fact. I had to lead in with that. So, because it goes a little bit further.
Okay.
So what ended up happening was Mariah Carey was actually literally bidding to trademark the Queen of Christmas because of everything that she's done with this song. And like literally like
Oh, is that how it started, the whole thing?
yeah, so this is kind of how everything kind of came out because Mariah's been trying to actually be dubbed the literal Queen of Christmas.
Oh.
So like literally like because she wanted to do more entrepreneurial things and like have
Okay.
things that said it, and so in order to do that she had to be able to trademark it.
Oh.
So that's kind of how that all started. But what ended up happening was in the process of her trying to trademark this for branding for products and things like that, she was actually rejected because the Queen of Christmas has already been trademarked
Who?
by a full-time Christmas musician by the name of Elizabeth Chen. So she is actually the Christmas Queen. Is that not
Who is
insane?
she?
I have no idea.
Who is she?
How are you a full-time Christmas musician that we've never heard of? And she actually trademarked Queen of
Is she
Christmas.
at some theme park that has Christmas 24? Like, what? How are you doing this full time?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Who is she? We gotta Google
We're gonna
that.
have to find out who this is. I was
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, but yeah.
That's poor.
Isn't that crazy? I know. She's like, I just wanted to brand my products with
And someone's
Christmas.
already like,
Yeah.
and who was listening to Miss
Oh, yeah,
Chan?
let's listen to Miss Chan. I don't know how she trademarked that. So, all right. Well, anyway, there we go.
That's it, man. Well, thank you for joining. We
Yes.
wish you the merriest Christmas.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Thank you.